How you guys doing? I'm going to go through a tax return fairly quickly here, just to give you an idea of how quickly you can finish a tax return in our software, and some of the navigational ways to get through to it. I'm going to hit Start a New Return here. I'm going to use the basic no profile here and go down to Social. It's going to enter the social there. Hit Start a Return. I'll hit OK here. I'm going to hit Continue. I'll pass this message there. I'm going to decollapse this so I can have my my forms tree over here. I'm going to hit Head of the Household for this client. I'm going to hit Continue. Go put in the client's information. Tab down, put in the last name. Tab down, put in the birthday for the taxpayer. Type in 1989. You can put occupation if you like. If you don't, if any of these pertain to you, you can to your client, you can select it. If not, go down, put in the address. Put in the zip code. City and state populates automatically. Put in the phone number. If you were refund advantage, you need to put in 2 different phone numbers. Hit continue. The next screen is asking, do you have any dependents? If you do not want to add dependents at this time, you can hit no. If you do want to add them, you can hit yes here. Remember, decollapse your forms tree again. Once you hit tab, it automatically puts in the last name of the taxpayer. So also be mindful of that, guys, when you're going through the tax return, in case this last name is different. The dependent's last name is different from the taxpayer last name. Put in the birthday for this dependent. Remember, if this dependent is older than 16 years old, they will not qualify for the child tax credit, okay? If they're older than 16-year old, they will not qualify for the child tax credit. Here the relationship. I put in the social there. I'm going to put son for this dependent. Yeah. 12 months is already filled out. If it's less or more, well, not more, but if it's less, you can change it here, whatever the reasons are. These are different things, but 12 is always pre-selected for you. For them to get the EIC, they have to live with the taxpayer for over 6 months, so 7 months or more. If any of these pertains to this dependent, select it. If not, hit continue, and we're done adding the dependent there. The next thing you want to add, hit continue, and you can add in the whatever the income you want to add here. I'm going to add a W-2. You also can go over here and type in W-2, or you can hit enter myself here and find the W-2 form here and go directly into it. Find the W-2 that your client is giving you and put in the EIN that's on that W-2. Once you put in an EIN one time within your software, if you have another client with the same EIN, it's going to automatically populate everything for you. Put the address there. For the job that this client is working at. Put in that, populates automatically. Put in the income. Let's just say they made $16,700. So their federal withholdings is $555. It's populated for you. Box 3, 4, 5, and 6 populated for you already. If any of these pertain to your client, you fill it out. If not, keep going. This is where you put the state information from the W-2. I'm in the state of Tennessee, so we have no state taxes here. I hit continue, and we're done adding that W-2. If you want to add a second W-2, you can go up here and do so. Okay, so we have a refund for this client of $5,416. We're going to hit continue. Now, if you do not want to continue through all of these forms and you've added what you need to add, Because if you keep hitting continue, it's going to ask you all these different questions. You can skip these deductions and move through it, or you can just skip this section altogether if you don't need any other forms you need to add and go to health insurance. Answer the health insurance questions. Did you have health insurance at any time in 2018? We're going to hit yes. Remember, guys, if your client hits no and goes and they will get penalized this year. I'm hit continue. Was it through the healthcare.gov, also known as Obamacare? If the answer is no, you hit no. Hit continue. Verify the members of the household. Hit continue. Was it the entire year of 2018, all 12 months? We're going to hit yes. Hit continue for this client. The states are unavailable because the software is still updating, but if you need to add a state, you would do it here. Hit continue. It's going to calculate the return and take us to the summary page. You can look through this if you like. You can look at the 1040 view if you like as well, and we can hit continue. See how I'm flowing through the tax software? Just flowing through it. If you have a simple tax return, a person just adding a W-2, it's really easy. This is the longest part of the tax return. It's the EIC. It's also one of the most important because this is a huge audit item if these questions are answered falsely or incorrectly, things like that. Was a taxpayer a non-resident alien for any part of the year? We're going to say no. Is a taxpayer a qualifying child of another person? We're going to say no. Did you complete the return based on information for tax year 2018 provided by the taxpayer? We're going to say yes. Did you interview the taxpayer, ask adequate questions, and document the taxpayer's responses? We're going to say yes. Did you review the adequate information to determine the taxpayer is eligible to claim the credit? We're gonna say yes. Remember, they're asking the same questions over and over and over and over again, guys. They're being redundant, they're being repetitive because they want to catch you in the okey doke here. It's really just to cut back on fraud and people are doing false tax returns. The end of the information about a taxpayer, a third party, or reasonably known to you in the connection with preparing the tax. I'm sorry. Preparing the return appear to be incorrect, incomplete, or inconsistent. It's tongue twisted there. I'm going to say no. Everything looked fine. Did you satisfy the record retention requirement? I'll say yes. You can read through this of what the record retention requirements are. Okay, to meet the regulations required, did you keep a copy of any documents provided by the taxpayer? You have to keep all documents, guys. You got to keep copies. If the IRS comes through into your tax office and say, "Hey, where's the things you put on this tax return?" You got to have copies of it. Okay, now those copies can be electronic, or they can be copies that are that you have physical copies in your office locked up. Okay, what did you rely on? We're gonna say a W-2. We're gonna say a Social Security card. And whatever other documents you relied on for this client. Did you ask the taxpayer where he or she provide documents to substantiate eligibility for the amount of credits? Yes, we did. Again, you have to. It's called the due diligence form for a reason. They want you to interview your client. They don't want you just to take your client's word for anything. They want you to have your client show proof of these things. And they want you to interview your client. Did you ask the taxpayer if any credits were disallowed? We're going to say yes. Were any credits disallowed or reduced? We're going to say no. If they are, you have to fill out AA62 form. Okay, guys, so you can look up how to fill out that. This is one of the dependents I added. Is this child currently or intended to be a qualified child in any other individual tax return? We're going to say no. Okay, of any other individual tax return, we're going to say no. Have you determined this taxpayer is in fact eligible to claim the EIC for the number of children of whom the EIC is claimed? Yes. See, this is asking a ton of questions, the same kind of questions over and over. Did you explain to the taxpayer that he or she may not claim the EIC if the taxpayer has not lived with the child for over half a year? Remember, I was telling you guys 7 months. So we did explain it. Yes. We explained the rules about claiming the EIC when a child is a qualifying child of more than one person. That's the tiebreaker rules. We did explain that. Tiebreaker rules are explained here. For to make a long story short, you got two parents. They both kept the child for 6 months each. Whoever made the most money, that's who gets to claim that child. That's what the tiebreaker rules are. All right. Child tax care credit questions. Does the child reside with the taxpayer who is claiming it? Yes. Again, they're asking the same questions over and over. Did you explain to the taxpayer that he or she may not claim CTC if the taxpayer has not lived with the child for over half the year? Again, that's the same questions. Yes, I did. Did you explain to the taxpayer the rules claiming the CTC for a child or for divorced or separated parents? Yes, that's Form 8832, guys. You can look that up. Household, head of household questions, because we filed head of household, they're asking us this. Have you determined that the taxpayer was unmarried or considered unmarried on the last day of the tax year and provided more than half of the cost of upkeep of a home of the home for the year for a qualifying person? I'm out of breath saying that long sentence. But yes, we determined that this person was unmarried, and they did. In order to get head of household, they must provide more than half of the assistance for their home to claim head of household. Do you certify that all answers on this form 8867 are to be of the knowledge of your knowledge true, correct, and complete? Yes. Okay, guys. They let you know here, right here. It's a $520 penalty for each credit for which you have failed to comply. And complying, read through this, guys. It gives you an example of non-compliance. It's keeping copies, it's asking questions, it's documenting those questions. As a tax preparer, you are responsible for making sure you're asking your clients the right questions. Okay? They're doing this for a reason, guys. All right, so you hit continue. We're now done with that. Is doing an eligibility check to see if we can get EIC based on the answers we gave, and we can. So it shows answered, enter, answered. Everything's green. I mean we're good to go. Okay. I mean we're good to go. We hit continue. If you want to put something in the miscellaneous statement there, you can by all means. It's a private statement. Hit continue. The more information you give the IRS, the more documents you would get from your clients, the better. Okay, the better. Now, again, I have a long video. I made this hour long. I'm doing this short video just showing you guys how quickly you can get to the return. This is right here, guys. This is the section, the e-file section, is where you will apply for your advances, your loans, your bank products, make sure your direct deposit, add your payment, all things of that nature. It's all here. Okay, guys. Now, because the bank hasn't updated yet, Refund Advantage won't be here yet. For those who are partners of Refund Advantage Republic, whatever bank you're with, won't be here yet. I'm going to still go through this with you. I'm just going to use, if you use direct deposit down further, you have to put in the direct deposit information on this page. I'm going to use a paper check so that we don't have to put that information. Okay, so here's where you'll choose what's the advances, the pre-acknowledgement advance, the in-season advance, or just your bank. If they don't want to apply for the advance, you can just choose the bank, which would be Refund Advantage for our partners, and EROs have whatever choice they chose to do. Okay, so we go down there. It'll show the EFIN number, the ERO name there. If it's self-repair, you can click that there. Usually it shouldn't be. Hit next. Here's where you add in your prep fees. Now I can't change these. So this is where you add the prep fees here. Okay, electronic filing fee, you don't have to add anything there. All it's going to do is just add to the prep fee. So it's up to you if you want to break it down that way, but it's just basically going to be your prep fee. I wouldn't even mess with it so you don't confuse your client. If you want to offer audit protection, you will click this button here. So you see that there, when you add audit protection, it goes to $89.99 to your client. We've sent that information on audit protection. We can send out another email on that. It is beneficial for you and your client. Is in case they get audited, this company will take care of everything for you, for your client. They just call the company, and the company will take care of everything for your client. This is also something else you can offer your clients as well. We can send you more information on this as well, or you can deselect it and not offer it. We'll give you more information if you are a partner on the incentives we give for those who offer audit protection. So there are the fees there. There aren't any extra fees added right now because the bank products aren't ready yet. So once the bank products are ready, you'll see the bank product fees and service bureau fees and things like that added to this. But right now it's just the 500 that I charged. Okay. Here you can put in the client's email address, so you can email them their tax return. The taxpayer's PIN usually is just the last 5 digits. I think the last 5 or 6 digits of their social. Okay, so this you guys do not have to mess with that. The ERO, you create your own pin. If you're a partner, we've created a pin for you. Just leave it alone. Leave it as it is. You hit next, and it's just your information here as a third party. Hit next again. This right here is something we added for our partners. The EROs, you can add this to your profile if you want to. It's just an extra added security questions there, and it's required to be answered. And we're gonna hit next. Hit save. It's processing, and so now we're done. Now this is saying that we haven't chose a bank product, and that's why why because the software hasn't completely updated. But this right here shows you how to. This is not a real EFIN as well, so that's why it's saying it's blocked. We're just doing a dummy return. Here's where you can go in and print your documents. You can print all signature documents. It's something which I recommend. So that means that every document is signed, including the bank documents, all that. Right now, you do not have any of the bank documents in here, guys. A879, none of that is in here yet until the software updates, okay? So there are forms that you aren't seeing right now because the software has not completely updated with the banking information, okay? So that's just a FYI for you. So once that's updated, I will do another video for you, okay? So you can do signature documents and print out just the documents that all need to be signed by law, and then you can email this return directly to your client. Remember that email that we put in earlier? You can email it directly to your client, and you can the email you already have in it'll email from there. I also, guys, I would practice on emailing to yourself first, so you can see how it looks, so you can understand, know how to answer your client's question when they ask you how to open up their return. Okay, guys, this is where your client will sign, taxpayer signature. They just sign there with the mouse. Save signature. You can buy it's called a Topaz tag. I'm sorry, signature pad. It's like 180 to 200 bucks. You can buy that on Amazon for those who want their clients signing this way. So that you can add if you want to use that pad, you can buy that $200 pad, or you can do this for free, which let them sign it with the mouse with their fingers and keep it moving that way. And it basically does it shows you what the refund amount is for this client. It also shows you what the refund amount is after the client has have the fees have been added as well. Okay, but that'll be shown later. And then you can get ready and you can tag this however way you want to tag it. If you are a partner, you're going to tag it as completed. That lets us know that you're ready to transmit. And then and whatever other tags you may want to do. But the way we transmit is if it's completed. If you're ERO, you transmit your own tax returns. Um, we also have ready for review. If you need us to review something, if you're a partner, you can click this ready for review section here. And so that's it. We hit save and exit, and we're done with that return. We're absolutely done with that